Well, hello, my beautiful Virgo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, you may notice I have reinstated the Gaia chimes. I missed them too much, so I had to absolutely bring them back, okay? So please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading will focus on what you're moving through at this moment in time and how you're coming out the other side. Now, what I got from your Gaia chimes energy was that something has come to a natural conclusion and perhaps you're navigating that at this time. But let's get to your cards just to see the details of what you're actually going through and how you're moving through this time period. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to be aware of at this moment in time? What are they going through? Can you please show them the way? So we have the High Priestess to start. So you're taking stock of things, quietly reflective. Don't get me wrong, you're very busy doing all of your tasks, responsibilities, and duties, but behind the scenes, you are observant, vigilant, connecting to your life philosophy, really kind of reviewing where you feel like you've been, where you are right now, and where you want to take life to next. I feel there is this energy of feeling like you're reaching for something more in your life, where you may feel like you're in between worlds, as it were. You know, you're opening the door to the subconscious mind, and this is almost like reprogramming. So you may be like cutting things out. As I said, something comes to a natural conclusion there for you. I feel, of course, that this period can indicate that you're asking yourself how you're going to show up for yourself today, tomorrow, and for the future. So it can be that you're being strict with yourself, cutting out certain things that perhaps derail you or threaten to, dampen your plans in some way. I mean, I really get an energy here that you may be looking at reminding yourself of things that perhaps you want to stop doing or stop feeling, because we have that Page of Cups there crossing your energy, and you're taking ownership of your life and saying, you know what, I don't accept that anymore. You're rewriting your narrative, as it were, if that makes sense. But we'll go a little bit deeper on that. We got 10 of Cups, so that's in the potential position to feel content, to reach for something that you shall achieve, your goals. Happy families, happy, group activity with your soul tribe. If some of you are witnessing some of your friendships, especially one, I feel there may be a distance between you and a person. You've been observing their behavior for some time. You may be evolving away from a relationship or a friendship at this time with that Emperor energy. You're maturing, and you may feel like they're still in a certain vibe that you're just not connecting to anymore. And it can be that you're withdrawing, going a little bit silent on the connection, just witnessing and maybe trying to make sense of why it's changed, the distance there. But I feel with that Ace of Wands, there could be a transformation in this relationship in your future that sees you save the relationship. Okay, but both parties need to take accountability. So again, I'm going to leave that there because again, that's something outside of yourself. I mean, the Ten of Swords is present, so I did feel that something came to a natural conclusion or something has ended there. But we will dissect that. Eight of Cups, you've walked away from something. I mean, all of your reading is about feeling fulfilled. It's about discovering more about yourself, seeking deeper meaning in life, re-examining where you've been, where you are right now, where you might go in the future, you know, choosing a path, your direction. So it could be that you're thinking about your sense of purpose. I mean, the destination is the sun. So that's ultimately your happiness, because we have that High Priestess energy right there. And that is a Virgo card. So you're prioritizing your own needs at this time. You may feel like life got a little bit quiet or a little bit more still, or you're trying to find more stillness in the noise, disconnect in order to hear your heart. Because we've got that Page of Cups, which is all about following your heart. It's about the messages from your heart. So you may feel that life has got pretty busy. And when we go through a personal journey of discovery, we do start to withdraw. We see through the stuff, you know, the confines that have been constructed over time to keep us in a certain expectation or a certain position. So it can be that you're breaking down the walls of that, seeing through beyond the veil. And when you're connecting to your higher self, sometimes it can be a very lonely journey because you're aligning with your sense of purpose. And that means you have to shed people or circumstances that don't align with your higher self. So some of you could feel a little bit, I don't want to say isolated really, because I feel like you're still connecting to people, but there's something within yourself where you're being separate or you're separating yourself from the noise of life in order to focus on goals, dreams, but also your happiness. I mean, the High Priestess is a very cautious card as well. So it can be that you're being vigilant, or perhaps you found yourself in a state of hypervigilance, watching, waiting, intuitively feeling that something's off. Maybe you can't put your finger on it in some way. With the Ten of Swords, you may feel there's been a betrayal of trust, whether that's in the world at large, whether that's in your immediate circumstances. You know, it can also be that you're witnessing the end of something and you're staying really quiet about it. You're just noticing at this time. I mean, this card also means that you are connecting to your higher self. It's also that you are developing your spiritual gifts, deepening them, but also connecting to your life philosophy and staying true to who you are in an ever-changing world that you may feel is very unfamiliar to you at this time. You may be feeling that like the world is turned upside down in some way, and you are kind of like over-analyzing things to really discern what's going on here, to see the alternative, to see motives behind the scenes, as it were, because the High Priestess looks a little bit deeper, and it can be a process that you're going through right now. You know, the High Priestess, of course, is an energy of deepening your belief system. It is about who you are, what you believe in, your inner wisdom. So a lot of you, you may try to reach a position where you're ending something in order to begin something new. You're curious about something that perhaps you would love doing that actually would be the dream for you with that Ten of Cups. That means your dream becomes your reality, but you're quietly reflective on what next. How do you achieve that? You know, this is deepening your connection to manifestation, to connecting to vibrations, the law of attraction that will see you align with like unknown frequencies, as it were, to call in your mystical vision of your future. You may even be very prophetic over this period, where you have sudden flashes of insight or even dreams of your future that will become true. I mean, they're positive. You've got a 10 of Cups here, and you've got the Sun energy. So this tells me, though, with the 10 of Swords, that something needs to end or be completed before you can move into this breakthrough period. I mean, 10 of Swords with the High Priestess, you're thinking about a lot. You have a lot on your mind and a lot on your to-do list. I'm actually seeing an octopus right now, so this can indicate that, you know, you are multitasking, trying to be in the flow, always reaching out, doing stuff. You're highly intelligent, and it can also be a regeneration, adapting to circumstances after they have changed so radically. Because the 10 of Swords is an abrupt change or an abrupt end of something. But it also brought a realization, something for you to think about. So, I mean, this can be something that you have experienced personally, or it can be that you feel the world has somehow ceased being something that you understand at this moment in time. Because, of course, the High Priestess is to seek and understand, have knowledge, and the 10 of Swords can indicate that things are just hitting different, or there's a shift, or it just feels like a big old headache to try and understand the reasons or motives or what's happening. It somehow feels alien to you at this moment, but you're trying to seek understanding, fulfillment, and work out where you're taking your life to next in a world that feels somehow unfamiliar. Okay, so that's so random, but that's coming out there. I mean, High Priestess is your belief in self as well. So I feel like you're backing yourself. You're showing up for yourself every day, even though it's hard. You're reaching for something that you would love, even though you feel like you haven't got it right now. The Page of Cups is an interesting crossing card because it's in the resistance position. So it means you read the reverse as well as the upright there. And in the upright, of course, this indicates, you know, you following your heart. It also indicates psychic ability. So to have these two cards, some of you may have been avoiding your natural gifts that you want to suddenly delve a little bit deeper into. I mean, the High Priestess does things like scrying, sees beyond the veil. So you may be interested in things like remote viewing or, tarot, or, learning about these things because, of course, pages are curious and they learn. So these may be something that you're into. It doesn't have to be those specific things. It could be more holistic way of living, for example, healing, natural remedies, and, yoga, mindfulness, meditation, trying to protect your inner peace. So these may be things that you are curious about at this time, especially since you have a very over-analytical mind right now. You may be looking at how you can manage intrusive thoughts that perhaps tear you down when you're about to accomplish something so monumentally successful. Perhaps it's a personal development project. Maybe you're investing in yourself, and just when you get to a certain position and you think you've made a lot of headway, suddenly you may feel a lapse, a temptation to fall back into a cycle in some way. But, the Page of Cups in the resistance position, it can indicate that you've dealt with some very immature people, okay? And you're trying to distance yourself or withdraw, go silent. Some of you are literally operating off-grid. You've got something on behind the scenes, as it were, whether it's a passion project or maybe a secret. I mean, these two cards can indicate some of you have like a secret crush or an attraction, or perhaps you're connecting to someone secretly right now because you're not ready to reveal who this person is, for example. Or it could be that you are doing something that you love, but you're keeping it to yourself. It could be a project. You're working on things behind the scenes right now, but also this card is about open-heartedness. It is about playfulness. It is about, you learning more about yourself. So the more time you spend with yourself, this is about you kind of acknowledging who you are, what you're capable of, and what you delight in. Life is pretty hard. It's full of things to do, responsibilities. I mean, there is this energy here of you wanting to do more things that you love, or be more playful, more like a lighter spirit, as it were, but there's so much going on right now that you may feel there's a heaviness there because, of course, the card in the reverse is all about this heaviness and perhaps never having enough time for you to do things that bring you joy. So you may be trying to find balance at this moment in time. I mean, we do have the Emperor, okay? So this can indicate a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. There's this energy of duty to the people you care about. But also there's this like yearning to do something more, something other. And I would say with this card being on the earthly plane position in this spread, it means that, you feel there is a seriousness about life right now that perhaps you feel wasn't the same in the past. Things that brought you joy are hitting different right now. It's not that there's an emptiness, because the Page of Cups is in the resistance position. It can indicate that perhaps in your sense of duty, responsibilities, and just being in the humdrum of life, the repetitive cycles of structure, because the Emperor is all about structure. It's always about like taking authority for your life and kind of like being responsible in some way for something, committed to something for the long haul. It can limit the spark. It can chip away at the sparkle, as it were. So a lot of you are trying to rediscover yourself and that fiery, passionate energy there. Because, I mean, these two cards are like responsibility and passion. Can you blend the two? The answer is yes. But it's hard sometimes to be able to do that, of course. So I would say with this Emperor energy that you're trying to lead or be a leader in your life and, achieve something right now. For some of you, it can be to be a parent, or it can be that, you are kind of looking at family dynamics, the complexities of how people feel, the complexities of a person, of a heart. How can one person be so complex and challenging sometimes, and the next very open and responsive? And you may be navigating a relationship like that because there's two people here, not of the same frequency, but we have an Emperor and we have a Queen of Pentacles. So in the past, I mean, this is a Virgo card. Queen of Pentacles indicates you felt more you in the past, more security, perhaps, more abundance, more comfort in some way, maybe even a little bit more protected in your circumstances. But now you feel very unsettled. The High Priestess, as I said, is cautious. So it can be that you're witnessing, especially with the Emperor can be structures, governmental or the way that the world is run, for example, certain establishments, rules, regulations, authoritative figures that you feel have drawn suspicion within you, where you feel like you need to be vigilant. What's next? There may be an undercurrent because the High Priestess is all about the undercurrent, digging a little bit deeper, feeling that something is amiss, and having this awakening to watch people who are governing so that you can, find your way through these changes. I mean, the octopus is like a navigational energy. It is to remain flexible. So you may feel the world is putting the squeeze on everybody at the moment, no matter what country you're in, for example. And you may feel that things are not fair, things are not balanced. I mean, they never were, but the world has ramped up that level of crazy over the last couple of years. So you may be looking at structures like that right now, where you feel that things are too hard, that you've had to kind of like dampen your curiosity. It's hard to do new things, or perhaps it's hard to follow your heart or your dreams or your commitment on something. And you may have felt like you had to put something on hold or quietly just work on it behind the scenes. But I feel, you will reignite that spark. You will return to your passions if you've had to put something on hold there. When you get the Emperor energy, this can indicate that structure has been working really well for you to build the life that you're trying to expand on right now. And you're always feeling like you have to be in a strategy, like a chessboard. You're always having to be like 1 or 2 moves ahead of life in order to keep up with things at this moment in time. But I feel this holds you in good stead. You are protected. This is a card of action. So you may have felt like you've been constantly in action, always doing something, always on the go. And with that Ten of Swords, it can indicate it's been a lot. you've been under a lot of stress. There's been stressful situations. You may have felt that you've had to sacrifice certain things, let go of certain things because the time was not right. You had to be more responsible, or you had to lead in some way that meant leaving something that would be a passion project or your, dream opportunity, like on hold. But you'll return to this, whatever this is. And actually, you're going to love it. You're going to feel fulfilled in it as well. Now, this is the side here. Some of you may have been getting like migraines or a lot of tension, headaches, or like tension in your shoulders and neck, like really stiff recently. And this is your body's way of saying that there's heightened cortisol levels, stress, energy. A lot of you need to manage those stress energies or find a way to holistically like release some pressure there. So when I say holistically, it could be through massage, or it could be you doing certain exercises to help lymphatic drainage and things like that. That's something that's coming through there. Okay, I'm not a medical practitioner. Always consult someone who's in a position of authority to help you with something. So if you are managing something, if you've been unwell or you have symptoms of something recently, or if you've been managing something for some time, I do see you connecting to a practitioner who will help you feel more like yourself than you have in a long time, to manage some sort of stress or pain, because the Ten of Swords is a lot of pain. I mean, some of you, especially with the High Priestess, you may be keeping quiet about aches and pains or things that you're noticing. Just because we cannot witness someone struggling with a painful situation or even pain in the body doesn't mean it's not happening. So some of you may have been quietly just showing up, doing life, being positive as much as possible, and you're managing inflammation, or you have arthritis, or, you're dealing with like major headaches, or cramps, or it can be that you've been dealing with a symptom of something quietly for some time. And you will locate someone who has the knowledge and the qualifications to, help you manage, but also alleviate those symptoms. So you have more energy, more vitality. So you can, get out there and shine your light and feel on top of things. But some of you may be wrestling as well with a decision, is what I'm seeing here, because Page of Cups can indicate some sort of news that you are like thinking about and you're unsure about things at this moment in time. I would say with the Emperor that of course you're going to make a serious decision. You're going to make the right decision. You're going to be very successful on this decision, whatever this decision is. And it's going to lead to a lot of happy times. And it is exciting, whatever it is, because the aces tend to be like new beginnings, or taking a leap of faith, or launching something. I feel like you're looking before you leap, as it were, on something that perhaps you've been curious about. You may even been in training, learning. Your mind is at capacity, full of knowledge, but you're about to utilize that knowledge into something that is going to bring a lot of joy. I mean, ultimately, I feel there is this energy of you exploring your options or exploring a new way of living, but it came with adapting to new circumstances, because it feels with that Ten of Swords, something either abruptly ended, or you feel, for some of you, that you have to be stricter with a person who perhaps hurts you, because Ten of Swords is pain. So a lot of you could be managing pain or cutting out situations that cause you distress, sadness, or, the cycle is coming to an end whenever you get a Ten of Swords there. So if someone has betrayed you in the past, it can be that you are cathartically releasing some of those feelings, conquering them within you. Even though they shaped who you are, very important, it's not that you're dismissing the experience. It means that you're letting things go and flow and processing so that you can bring more joy, happiness, and playfulness into your life. You're not going to be like beholden to challenging emotions. So the Emperor can be that you're being stricter with yourself at this time, and with the dynamics of either a person that you're either outgrowing or you feel has betrayed you or disrespected you in some way. You know, Ten of Swords is very much like severing ties with something or somebody. And also, I feel if you have been going through a very difficult, stressful situation, I also see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, literally, because you have that sun energy as your outcome card. So if you're going through it right now, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. But I feel like a lot of you are like holding it all together, like showing up, putting a smile on things, even though deep down, the High Priestess never really talks about the distress or the sadness or the pressure. It can be that you're just getting on with getting on. You're just showing up. You're leading. We have that Queen of Pentacles, as I mentioned, in the past position. So I do see a lot of you may feel that, you know, you're more secure or protected in the past. But I feel, you know, there is this energy with this card that you are working really hard to make things work. You're committed to something. Whether it's a goal, I mean, this could be a personal development project. It could be that you're committed to being more healthy or more active, whatever that means for you. Or it could be that you're committed to a specific, you know, goal or achievement that you're on course to be successful in. The Sun card indicates you hit your mark. It means that you flourish and thrive. But also I feel there's this energy of you really seeing you. So you're on this journey of self-discovery. You're letting go and seeking like greater authenticity. All that glitters is not gold. So I feel like you always knew that. But I feel like you're being true to your heart. You've come as far as you can in the situation that you're in. And it's feeling like there's more to discover, as it were. I mean, your intention here is to build security for your future. You know, be the architect of your dreams, as it were. Commit yourself to something, work hard, be diligent, and find opportunity. Embrace them. A lot of you may also feel a bit cautious about finances as well. But I feel like you are secure. I feel like you are someone who can either find alternative ways to bring in money, because the Queen of Pentacles always multiplies wealth. You know, typically on a Queen of Pentacles, there tends to be rabbits, okay, which is all about multiplication there. So it's not on this card. You know, there's a snake there for transformation. But I feel this is about transforming your finances, removing a money block for a lot of you. This could be something that's on your mind or that you're reading about at this time. But I do see that you will be financially secure. But again, I get this energy that some of you, even from younger years, from the very foundation of you, you've always felt responsible or had responsibility on your shoulders, thrust from a very young age. And it can be that you're trying to navigate some of these feelings from childhood and open up, you know, the inner child a little bit more, to let the inner child know that you're safe, you're secure, we got this. And it can be that you are trying to embrace more playful, light-hearted energy in the world. Really hard to do when the world is, you know, at conflict. I feel there is this energy of allowing yourself that childhood wonder, being the person that perhaps you needed when you were younger. You're being that person now and maybe extending yourself to other people. Now, I'm also being given, especially with that Ten of Cups, you're aspiring for something more. And the dream of whatever it is for you, it will become your reality. You have two tens here. Now, this is all about harmony, fulfillment, serenity, peace. I feel there's an energy here of you trying to take pleasure in all that you've accomplished so far, but also wondering what's the missing ingredient. It's like you're so grateful for all that you have right now, but you are acknowledging there's something else. For some of you, this could be love, because the Page of Cups, of course, is, you know, the beginning of a new relationship or being curious about someone. For some of you, it could be a dream opportunity. I am being given, and this is not going to resonate with everybody, but I am being given this energy of integrating more, finding soul tribe members. So if you feel that you've like witnessed people evolving away from you, or your social circle is getting quieter, or you felt removed and very thoughtful and just feel like you're not aligned with the people that you felt you used to be aligned with, I see that you will integrate into new groups of people. I feel a lot of you are going to get creative on something that you are excited about, and there is an inspirational energy about it. So it could be that you go to an inspirational group, whether it's a hobby or, whether people discuss their feelings or, just come together in general. I see you involved in something where you make a friend for life. You'll make many acquaintances there and get on really well with them, but there's one in particular who becomes a friend for life, okay? This person just gets you. So if you are searching for a soul tribe member, I feel like you will be connecting to someone new very soon. Now, with the Ten of Cups, especially since we've got that Ace of Wands and Seven of Wands, this can indicate you want to exert yourself and be more independent, especially, when it comes to your family. It can be that, you have a lot of responsibility and you're not going to shirk your duties or your responsibilities because that Emperor is there. But it can be that you need to protect your time for yourself, be more independent, do your own thing. There may even be a dream or a goal or something that you want to do that other people just don't get. And that's fine. You don't have to explain yourself. This is your life. This is your path. You're leading in the direction of your dreams and your perception of what success or the destination looks like. And you will reach it. You'll reach your goal and you will be celebrated. But you may be protecting something at this time with that Seven of Wands there. This can be a card of defense. And that's why I feel some of you may have been on fight or flight mode, whether it's like previous toxic relationships or, the world at large, feeling intuitively that something has shifted and that you have to be on guard. For some of you, that Ace of Wands, especially in your near future position, this can indicate something new coming in, whether it's you relocating because you have an Eight of Cups. Some of you may be thinking about going overseas, or, you're not even sure where you're headed. You just feel like change. You need to be more spontaneous is what this desire is coming from the root of the High Priestess. It's like, okay, I've been cautious my whole life. I've had responsibility. Now can I take a risk? But it'll be a calculated risk because you have that Emperor there. So the Ace of Wands can indicate that you're about to take a leap of faith, that you're about to launch something, a new venture, or start something new, or you are in your primal power and there is an impetus to change. But this could also be spiritual enlightenment. A lot of you are sitting with self, having lots of epiphanies about people, about situations, conversations from the past. What someone really meant, what's the subtext. So a lot of you are deep in thought on the layers of life in general. Deep within yourself, it's starting with the self there. So you know that if you want change in your life, it starts with the self first, and then it will ripple effect out into the rest of your life. But you're one tough cookie, I see, with that Seven of Wands. This indicates that, you're building in self-confidence. You're protecting your boundaries. It also indicates that you're at your personal best. You're engaged in sustained effort on something as well. Your passion is pushing you forward, moving obstacles out of your way. But also, I feel this is you, problem solving. It's like life has been problem solving. Because you have that Ten of Swords and you have the High Priestess. It's like, let me think it over. You may have suffered a lot from analysis paralysis or overthinking that has made you feel a little bit stuck in a rut sometimes. But I feel like you're managing intrusive thoughts. Anything that threatens to tear you down, you're building yourself up at this time, because that's your advice to yourself in this moment. Seven of Wands is protect yourself, have confidence in yourself, follow your passions, lead with passion there as well. Also, it can be that you feel like you need to make a stand in your position, whether it's make a stand for something you believe in, your life philosophy, or it can be that you're making a stand in an argument or defending your beliefs or your perception in a group dynamic, because we do have that Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor energy. Because the Queen of Pentacles is there and it is a Virgo card, I would say the Emperor is someone you're dealing with, someone who either tries to take control or micromanage you in some way. Perhaps it's a parental type figure. It could be anybody that you feel that you have a lot of care and respect for, because the Page of Cups is there. But it can be that they are sometimes complex and difficult to deal with, but you don't want to lose yourself in that. You don't want to enable a certain behavior. Ultimately, you just want peace and harmony in a situation, whether it's with your family, your spouse, if you have a partner, or just, in your job or whatever it is. You're just reaching for something. And even in the world at large, you're like, why can't there just be peace? Why can't people just get along? Sometimes, unfortunately, we have to acknowledge that not everybody is like you, my beautiful Virgo, with a beautiful heart, with high intentions. So a lot of you could be very introspective at this time and trying to protect your inner peace, but also protecting your dreams, your goals, and aspiring for something more. You're not giving up on something. Now, the Ten of Swords is very much an abrupt ending of something. So, for example, some of you may have come to this reading and had a very challenging separation. You've got two people here, High Priestess, Page of Cups in the resistance position. It can be that you're grieving a relationship or grieving a part of yourself that you feel like you lost in a relationship. When a relationship breaks down, especially if there is betrayal, because the Ten of Swords can be that you felt betrayed by a person, broken down. And it can be that you're now questioning, how can I defend my heart? How can I trust in love again? How can I ever have the happy ever after in a relationship when my trust in love itself has been broken down? So it can be that you are stricter with yourself. Erecting healthier boundaries is important, but not building a brick wall so that the true love can come on in. You will love again, I want you to be aware. So if you are currently single and healing from heartbreak, firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there. It is a process, but you will love again, and you will not repeat a cycle, because the Eight of Cups says you're walking away from something and you're not revisiting it. The fear is to return to a very similar experience, but you won't. The Ace of Wands indicates chemistry with someone new very shortly if you're actually looking for love. But I feel more than anything, this is you reigniting your spark. Even though there's so much going on in your mind, on your to-do list, I feel like there's an energy here of challenge. Let me just pull a quick card on this Ten of Swords for you, because this is something outside of yourself. So it can be that, things have remained the same and you feel ground down by life, and you may feel that you're looking at the sacrifices you make for the life that you have right now, and you may be trying to make some changes or open up to meaningful avenues that have felt hard, but you will have that breakthrough. The Hermit. So with the Hermit, the Hermit again withdraws. It is a Virgo card, so you're prioritizing your own needs. You have a lot of inner wisdom there, but this can indicate you're exhausted with the way things are. You're just so fed up that it always kind of like is the way it is. If you think about a hermit, they remove themselves from society because they feel like they don't gel. They feel like they are not aligned. They're more connected to nature or the world or their thoughts. They feel somehow apart on the outside looking in. So I feel this energy here that a lot of you with that Eight of Pentacles, you may feel like withdrawing to really reflect on repairing something. Eight of Pentacles can be to repair. This could be personal journey of discovery, but also it could be to repair a relationship or be deeply reflective on a cycle that has played out too long. Repetitive like cycle or routine. It's like a habit. If there's a person who acts the same way all the time and you keep giving them like leeway or not making excuses for them, but enabling a behavior, but it is a cycle repeat, a lot of you may be like, I need to withdraw from this. Otherwise, it will enable the behavior. So you're taking leadership. You're being the change that you want to see. But a lot of you with that Hermit, you could feel very isolated and alone when it comes to working hard for your money. That you're just focused on work, work, work with that Eight of Pentacles. You're dedicated to something, which is wonderful because it means you're a pro at it. It means that you're going to be very successful at it. You're mastering it there, but at the same time, it can be that it's like tunnel vision. It doesn't lead you down any avenues for you to just go off and have fun and let your hair down. Just with these two cards alone. And I am clarifying the Ten of Swords. So you've got a lot on your mind. You're deeply reflective. You feel a need to regenerate, or, it's necessary to take a time out. And in that time out, there is personal growth, but also there is a lot of deep thought, and some challenging thoughts and emotions can arise. But when you re-emerge after this deeply reflective period, it is then that you take charge. So for example, when you are lucky enough to take either a vacation or a staycation, of course, you're unwinding, you're relaxing, your body is starting to kind of all that tension. They always say the first week, if you're lucky enough to have 2-week vacation, the first week is about your body going, oh my gosh, that was a lot. That's why, when you stop, you tend to get a little seasonal cold, for example, because your immune system is holding it all together. And it's really the second week that you start to go, oh, okay, now I'm enjoying myself. And is there you start thinking about the changes you want to see in your life, the things you should start, how you should be more active, all the things that you need to be doing. But you must remember that you're not just a human doing, you're a human being. Stillness. So I feel there's a call for stillness in your life right now. And in that, it will highlight what you're dedicated to and the next steps, because there is something new upon you. There's never truly a full ending, and that's finite, it's over. It means you're in a transition period towards something greater, something better. And it can be that you're making a major gear shift in your life in some way. Please apply it to your situation. It's going to be different for everybody. But this gear shift, the universe is stepping in, divine intervention there, to transform your life. It's destined to happen. This is you dreaming big of all the possibilities. You're turning them into reality, whatever that is. So this is about you feeling more connected, accessing that creative power, having more energy. But it took a complete rest from something or a pause from something before you could really recalibrate. Now, these two cards are either a course correction. I mean, the Eight of Cups is to walk away or try a new way of doing something. It can be about your journey, your sense of purpose, your direction at this time. It can also indicate that some of you have experienced rejections or things not going your way, and it just feels like you're broken down and tired. You're so fed up of change, fed up of being in a transition all the time, having to adapt. When does it get easier? Well, it does, and I definitely see here it will for you. Because whoever walks away on the Eight of Cups normally walks straight into the Nine of Cups, but you're getting the Ten of Cups. So it means that not only are you going to get wishes fulfilled, but also there's going to be peace, relaxation. Things are going to work out where it's effortless. You won't have to work so hard. I feel like you're attracting what you need, what you desire, but also a little something extra in your life at this time. But I do see a lot of you are in a period of rebuilding, empowering yourself, creating a foundation in order to remove anything that's not stable or true, or something that was already crumbling or you felt you were evolving away from as you mature. The Eight of Cups says, who or what comes on the next part of my journey? So I feel right now that you're on a path that is right for you instead of the one that seems likely to draw you into it or is expected of you. You're doing what is true to you and to your heart. And you may have come as far as you can with where you're at right now, and you're having the courage to leave something because it's not getting you to where you need to be. So for example, and I'm just giving an example, if you are trying to be successful in your career, but alternative opportunities lie in a different state or a different country, it could be that, you're summoning all of that strength and courage. You're getting all the knowledge. There's a lot of data that you have to configure in that beautiful supercomputer brain of yours. But you're logistically strategizing your move. You're about to experience new shores or new endeavors. You're starting something up. It's something you're passionate about, and it leads to the sun. But the Eight of Cups means leaving something or somebody behind. So it could be that you are, moving away from your family neighborhood, friends perhaps, and that can come at a lament. It can also indicate that, it stresses you out to think about all these things, but you're not leaving them behind. You are following your path, and they can come and visit. They can celebrate you, support you. You can be so successful that you can actually support them and, give back, as it were. So it is an exchange. But whatever it is you're trying to do right now, whether it's new, bold, and daring, it's at the cost of leaving a comfort zone for some of you, because that Queen of Pentacles can be comfort, or it could be leaving your home in some way. But it leads to infinite happiness, joy, and success. This is a hope and a fear position. The Eight of Cups can be, that you fear something will not go well. But I feel like you're overriding a fear, feeling that fear and doing it anyway, moving on from a situation. Some of you, there is the word abandonment that just came out in the water. Some of you may be getting over an abandonment issue. Okay, this could be that someone ghosted you, or someone was not there for you. You offer support. You're always there. You feel a duty to people with that Emperor energy, and you may be wondering who's there for you. So I feel a lot of you could be recalibrating your friendships or your relationships at this time. Especially since that Ten of Cups is there. It's like, who do you surround yourself with? Who's there for you? You may be getting very clear on who you need to sever ties with, or who you've just outgrown. Sometimes we can naturally outgrow a situation because we're maturing. And it's okay to detach from people. It doesn't have to be this dramatic thing. It can be a quiet withdrawal from situations. Let me just pull a card on that Eight of Cups. What is that? We got the Ten of Wands. So Ten of Wands is the heaviness. A lot of you, as I mentioned, you're at capacity, you're under a lot of pressure. Ten of Wands is feeling stuck in a rut, and there is a need for change. And that's why I feel that Eight of Cups is there. It's like prioritizing what's important, getting that out of the way, tying up all the loose ends on your projects. But it's like, if you continue to do this, it's going to grind you down in some way, and there needs to be either a course correction or an alternative approach. I mean, these two cards can also literally mean that you're exhausted and you need a break or a massage. And I feel both those statements are true. Okay, so whatever it is you're going through, I feel like it's a lot, but the Eight of Cups is you seeking new experiences, more excitement, reigniting that spark, that passion for life. And you shall find it. The Sun is an energy of success, passion. It's about joy. It's raw energy, seeing the positivity in the everyday, driving out the old to embrace the new. It's about freedom, liberation. So if you are stuck in a cycle of repeat and it's grinding you down, same old thing every day, same arguments, same worries, same, you may be feeling this need to break free, to break out. And this is the light at the end of the tunnel. This is you empowering yourself. It is glory, it's exuberance, it's shining your light. I mean, you're going from the shadows with the High Priestess, quietly behind the scenes, to being seen, understood. So even if you've got like a passion project that you're working on right now, it can be that you're ready to launch something and it will be successful, but you need to navigate the right moment to reveal it. Also, if you've got a secret, it could be that you are revealing it. If you know something about somebody, it could be with that Seven of Wands, you're confronting this person. You're getting it all out in the open and it clears the air. There could be a misunderstanding, or it could be someone taking accountability for actions. The Sun indicates you get the best of the situation, whatever that situation is. A lot of you are going through a major awakening. And in that awakening, it's often, a very solitary energy. It can be very lonely on a path of self-discovery. But you're having this awakening, this kind of like epiphany, a wake-up call, as it were, in your life, where you feel like you've been wasting too much time with certain situations, drama, or experiences that tear you down or make you feel worried. And you're like, enough. I need to empower myself and sparkle. I need to embrace my adventure. This is your life. So I feel a lot of you are connecting to things that you're passionate about, that bring you joy. After a period of having to sacrifice something, you're turning the tide to following your heart. And you will meet your own expectations, and you are secure to explore. And I feel like you will be happy. You will feel content. There is this wholeness. So also, if you're having like conflict in the family dynamic, or even if like there's a new addition or new dynamic, a new person who's entered the mix in the family unit. It can be that you are not pulling rank, but stating, how you feel about something. Making sure that there's no misunderstanding. I can only equate this energy that's coming through to, I'll just give it to you how I'm getting it, right? So for example, if you're a parent and your child has just started dating and you're meeting their date for the first time, it can be that you're like getting a measure of them, quietly assessing them, as it were, and you're wondering, is this the right person? And of course, you're going to think of all the worst case scenarios. You're going to, be working it all up in your head. And it can be that you quietly have a conversation with your child and say, okay, you know what? I value the choice of person that you're going to go on a date with and that you're investing in right now, but be cautious. Don't give all of yourself. Retain some mystery. You can always tell me anything. I'm here for you. It can be that you're trying to allay your fears and be kind of like stating like facts that you're going to be there for them and that no matter their decision, you'll always, support their decision. But at the end of the day, you may have a quiet conversation with the date as well and kind of tell that date how, protective you are over your child and, you do anything and that, you are respectful of their privacy, but at the same time, they must be respectful not to hurt your child, for example. I'm just being given this energy, so some of you may be like thinking about this at this time or going through something like that. Not everybody's going through that, of course, but I had to honor it because it came up there. But I feel on a personal level, this is a period of putting an end to an old way of doing something, to release a restriction. Like, yes, you're holding yourself to higher standards. You're holding yourself to account in life in general. But I feel there is this energy of like needing change, but also liking the familiar. It's almost like you're in between worlds with that High Priestess. The High Priestess is always kind of in between worlds, thinking about the possibilities, but also reflecting on where you feel like you are right now and what necessary steps need to be taken before you can actually reach where you feel like you need to reach. Often humans imagine it like branches in a tree. If a human is holding on to one branch and is reaching for another branch, they're not going to let go of this branch until they hold the other branch, because that's security. And also that's common sense, right? But it can be that right now you're holding on to one branch and you're reaching for something more. And you feel it's nearly there, it's within reach. But you're not going to let go of this in order to, just have a chance at getting this branch. There's no sense of, having it just now. So it feels very much like you're in between worlds, but you're about to take a leap of faith and reach a little bit further, as it were, and grab the branch. And at the same time, you're going to release this one. I feel like it's going to work out for you. I hope that makes sense. It's so random, but that's something that's coming through. So, yes. We have, try not to resist the changes that come your way. Do not delay the inevitable. So change is afoot. That Ten of Swords indicates, some sort of ending, making space for a new beginning. It's inevitable. It's divine timing. The Ace of Wands is the new thing that's coming on in. You're going to be excited about it. It feels like change. It feels like new places, new faces, new people, new experiences. A detour is available to you right now that can be of benefit. As I mentioned earlier, a course correction or an alternative way of approaching something. The desire, especially with the Sun card, is still the same. You're still going to reach it. Your destination point or your idea of success, whatever that is, whether that's a breakthrough on a diet, exercise routine, whether it's a breakthrough in your career or a breakthrough in a relationship or in a friendship, whatever it is, you will have that breakthrough. But it may require an alternative approach in some way. We've also got forgiveness sets you free. It keeps you from hanging on to what was never meant to be. So maybe the branch analogy was right, like hanging on. Hanging on to something will prevent you from like experiencing new things or letting go, if that makes sense. So a lot of you forgiving something from your past is of course hard, and it doesn't kind of nullify what you went through or what you experienced. You honor that, but it taught you a lesson. And forgiveness is not letting someone off the hook. Forgiveness is lightening your own karmic load. It lightens the baggage because you'll keep it with you. The only person you're hurting is you. Same with anger. Anger is a byproduct of someone overstepping your boundaries. And you get angry and frustrated at them, and you're only hurting you. All that emotion is caught up within you. They're over there. They may not be feeling it. They may not even be thinking about it. If you think about, for example, a bully, they're aware of their actions. They're conscious of what they're doing. But, you may meet a bully many years later and they just don't remember. Like I met a bully who really destroyed some of my teenage years. Horrific. And when they met up with me many, many years later, when I was being quite successful in my life at that point, they didn't remember. And I was like, what? Something that was so impactful to me and shaped who I was, how insecure I felt, how, low I felt about myself because of these experiences, they didn't even remember. So it was something that I couldn't fathom. So you may be trying to make sense of something right now that you're like, what? That makes no sense. It had such an impact on you, and you're trying to navigate your way through it. But holding on to it means it's going to be a very heavy load, and it's only hurting you. And right now, a lot of you are releasing things that hurt you so that you can be free. Liberation. Eight of Cups is kind of like downsizing or simplifying life. Who and what gets to go with you as you move forward. We've also got don't worry about what could go wrong. If something does go wrong, you'll be able to make the best out of it. Now, I don't see anything going wrong, but some of you may fear if you're reaching for something new, whether it's a new neighborhood, new project, new relationship, there's always going to be fear. Now, fear can either keep you rooted to the spot, or it can be a shaper of worlds to kick you up the you-know-what to get out there and experience it. Experience life. That's what we're here for. We're here having a human experience. So those experiences you've had, they taught you something, both good, bad, and ugly sometimes. And of course, this is about you exploring and not allowing these experiences to keep you rooted to the spot or cautious all the time. This is a period for you to go out there and follow your heart. And finally, your last card here is don't fear a blank canvas. Use it to turn your life into a masterpiece. So you're about to do something like monumental, something really exciting. And you are literally holding the paintbrush on this blank canvas. This is to get more spontaneous, more creative, get up on your feelings, do things that bring you joy. I feel a lot of you are on the precipice of a rebirth, more energy, more vitality, more excitement, breaking free from a repetitive cycle that perhaps has kept you very stuck or very thoughtful and kind of like in a period of stillness and suspension. I mean, you didn't get the hangman energy, but some of you may have felt a little bit in limbo. And you're just trying to find your way back to yourself or find your way back to things that brought you joy, even though they don't feel the same way right now. I feel like in the future, you will unlock some sort of emotional blockage because the Page of Cups is in the resistance position that sees you have joy, happiness. And of course, all of that comes from within you. Happiness is found inside of yourself. And that's why you got the Hermit and the High Priestess. So you're going inwards to discover what brings you joy. And there's a powerful transformation going on within you right now where you are awakening. And that means that all the old stuff sheds away because you're new. A new chapter requires a new version of you. So I feel that you're on the precipice of change, and actually it's quite exciting. Okay, so we got the word yes. Okay, so this is a positive. It's like you kind of like opening yourself up to more. If you're trying to be successful in something, the answer is yes. If you're wanting a relationship, the answer is yes. I feel this is about embracing the power of yes. You know, many years ago, some of my friends and I, we did a little experiment about the year of yes. So if someone said to me, okay, we should totally go to this place. And I was like, yes. And we were like, okay, we should totally right now go and do something really wild, which we did. We like did something completely like out of the norm, and someone just proposed it in that moment and said we should do it now. And we all looked at each other like, that's a little bit wacky. People are going to look at us like real strange. And we're all like, yes, let's do it. And what did it do? Number one, not only was it one of the best years of my life because I embraced everything, but also it helped me come out of a comfort zone. It made me like shift my inhibitions because I was like, okay, well, I'm saying yes to everything, so let's do it. So I feel a lot of you are empowering yourself in that energy. So I would say you're leading with yes. Can you do it? Yes, you can. So I feel a very exciting period being thrust upon you, but it comes at letting go. And the rest shall flow as it should be, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Virgo. This, of course, may not resonate with everyone. It's a very precise reading, but I have to honor all the energies that come out and the cards and their meaning and the images that I see. So I hope it does resonate with someone out there, okay? Thank you so much, my beautiful Virgo, and love and light.